One of the most important objectives of this course is to be able to understand how the financial statements are not only prepared, but how they evolve with each transaction. The creation of financial statements is a dynamic process. The new General Ledger questions within Connect allow you to see the dynamics. They allow us to not only construct the financial statements, but also deconstruct the financial statements back to the original transactions. Each question begins with the preparation of journal entries. We click on the General Journal tab. We read the transaction. On December 1st, Chaz Taylor forms a consulting business named Fast Forward. Taylor invests $30,000 cash in the new company in exchange for common stock. We debit the asset cash, $30,000, and credit the common stock account. To complete the transaction, we click Record Entry, and the next transaction appears. But before we record the next transaction, let me show you the impact of our first journal entry. The journal entry is automatically posted to the General Ledger, our T accounts. We see the debit to cash and the credit to common stock. If we were to prepare a trial balance after the first transaction, we'd see the two accounts, a debit balance in the cash account and a credit balance in common stock. This transaction had no impact on the income statement. No revenues or expenses were recorded. There was also no impact on retained earnings. The balance sheet reports the asset, cash, and the $30,000 balance in the common stock account. The final tab in each question is an analysis tab, where the student is asked to demonstrate their understanding of the key learning objectives for each chapter. For this chapter, we're asked to input the cumulative amount of net income or loss, total assets, total liabilities, and equity. Net income after this first transaction is 0. Total assets, $30,000. Total liabilities, 0. And total equity is $30,000. You can always return to the financial statements to verify your answers. Net income of 0. Retained earnings, also 0. And the balance sheet reports $30,000 of assets and $30,000 of equity. So you can see how the financial statements evolve with each transaction. The General Ledger questions allow us to deconstruct the financial statements, working backwards from the financial statements to the General Journal. At any point in time, we can go from the balance sheet back to the trial balance. By clicking on the balance in the cash account, we're returned to the General Ledger account, and we see that there are 3 transactions. We click on the individual transaction amounts, which will return us to the journal entry that affected the change in the General Ledger account. Now let's record a transaction that will affect the income statement. Fast Forward provides consulting services and immediately collects $4,200 cash. We debit cash and credit consulting revenue. Now let's look at our financial statements. The income statement reports net income of $4,200. The amount of net income flows to the statement of retained earnings. We see the $4,200 added to the retained earnings balance. Our balance sheet shows $41,300 of assets, $7,100 of liabilities, the $30,000 balance in the common stock account, and retained earnings of $4,200. At any point in time, you can back up to review key points by selecting a specific date using the drop-down button. The General Ledger, trial balance, and financial statements all populate as of that specific date. As the material becomes more advanced, the General Ledger questions keep pace. In some General Ledger questions, the students must construct the financial statements, selecting the accounts that properly belong on each statement, and the dollar amounts are pulled from the trial balance based on the student's selection. Similarly, the Analysis tab targets the key learning objective of the chapter. For example, what is the impact on net income of each adjustment and adjustments in total? Once adjusting entries and closing entries are introduced, the student is able to populate the financials using either the unadjusted, adjusted, or post-closing balances. These auto-graded General Ledger questions will serve as an effective demonstration tool in the classroom and a powerful learning tool for students. They combine the efficiency of General Ledger software with the depth of understanding of a good old-fashioned practice set.